Greetings, one and all. Squancho the Monkey Boy here yet again to read another chapter from the greatest story ever told. Sir Ballsfart and the Forest of Penises. There we go. Yes, it's been a wild adventure just telling this story. For one thing, Facebook seems to be trying to get us not to be on there anymore. So we've had a little bit of trouble getting Facebook to work for the last couple weeks, which is why we have not uploaded another chapter from the story. But this time we will. So just to get everybody caught back up, Sir Ballsfart travelled through a forest with so many penises. And then we got away from that for a while. We went underground and we explored with mermaids. And there was all sorts of whimsical things happening. He got a magical lance that he can stab through anything, through even rock. And then he travelled through some caves until he met some goblins, refugee goblins who were persecuted for their sexual desires. And he made friends with them, sort of. And then he wasted way too much time, and then he got back up with a giant beetle man that he had met earlier in the story. And now he and the beetle man are setting off to finally take out the dreaded Baron Rapefist, who has stolen some magical items from his girlfriend that I will not go into detail on. So, alright, without further ado, here comes Chapter 17, entitled, So Many More Penises. Shit mouth and I traversed the caves, and for the most part, he was right. The tunnels were large enough for him to use, and though we still had to duck beneath the occasional low ceiling, the giant shit-eating beetle nonetheless continued at a leisurely pace. But for me, there was nothing leisurely about it. I was just so fucking pumped. This was it, man. This was the fucking showdown. Just me and Rapefist and my magic ass death spike. Fuck yeah. This was going to be such a good day. I could feel it. After hours of trudging through the darkness, shit mouth, and I finally beheld the faint and distant glowing of white sunlight. There it was, the exit. Finally, I could leave this cavernous labyrinth and breathe fresh air once more. Upon reaching the blinding light of day, I could hear the birds chattering again, and as we stepped out onto the mountainside, I was immediately overwhelmed by the scent of balls that promptly shat upon us. That was kind of a bummer, but I had gotten used to it, and besides, I was still far too excited.
Do you care if I...
Shitmouth signalled at the shit that had splattered on my iron pauldron. Sure, I said reluctantly. Shitmouth then reached down with his diligent little beetle fingers and scooped up the dookie, rolled it into a little ball, and then ate it. So how about, letting me ride you into battle? I asked.
What?
You said you'd think about it.
Oh, right. I did think about it. And yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Fuck! Whatever. I surveyed the environment. Shit mouth. And I now stood along the edge of a sharp mountain range that faced westward, staring out upon the endlessly stretching forest of penises. From this angle, I could see several glittering streams and a couple of those Kappa Bridge temples, though I don't think that those were any of the ones that I had visited. To the south, I could see only more mountains like the one upon which we stood, each dotted with the occasional donga, and as I turned northward, our target became clear. In fact, it was huge. At first, honestly, I just thought that it was carved to look like it was made entirely from penises. But then common sense took over, and I realised that, yes, of course this building before me was wrought from countless stretched, moulded, and intertwined penises of incredible length and girth. That's just how fucked up this place is. I couldn't see a door or anything, but high up it definitely had windows, and I, of course, had a 30-foot bipedal beetle. The problem wouldn't be getting in, the problem would be getting to it, as between us sat a jagged gulch, followed by a massive bramble of coarse pubic hairs. I looked back at Shitmouth. "You ready to do this?"
No.
replied Shitmouth earnestly. "Oh, fuck! Well, we're doing it anyway."
Fine.
Warily, we descended our position into the gulch, and as we got closer, it soon became clear that something rather fucked up was going on down there, as this small stretch of land seemed strangely populated. "Who the fuck is that?" I asked.
It's me.
Answered Shitmouth.
I've never been this far east before.
"And you've never heard about a tiny village of mushroom houses?"
Those aren't mushrooms.
Of course they weren't mushrooms. I had spent too much time underground. I had forgotten the local theme. "Oh, right. But what kind of people live in tiny dick houses?" Shitmouth could not reply. Our path then formed into the main street of a tiny quiet town where all of the houses were between 3 and 6 feet tall and shaped like stumpy penises. Also, they seemed to be constructed from white plaster.
Hold.
Said Shitmouth as we reached the edge of the village.
Do you smell that? It smells delicious.
"No, I'm still just getting used to the smell of balls again. Why? Are these houses made from bird shit?" Giant beetles don't usually make facial expressions, but I could tell that he was excited.
I think they are.
He shouted as he reached down and clawed away part of a rooftop before lifting the crud up to his mouth.
Oh, yeah. This town is made from some quality shit.
He reached back down and broke off another corner from the roof, which snapped just like peanut brittle, and then scoffed it down in one weird insect gulp. I tried to ignore this, but as it occurred, I could hear something or someone whimpering nervously within that shitty little penis house. "Hello?" I asked, to no one in particular. The voice went quiet. "Is someone in there?" I asked again. "Do we need to kill you?" I sneaked around to look in the front door and soon realised just what sort of fucked people live in miniature dick houses made from bird shit. All right, straight up, I still don't know what the fuck these things are called. As we soon realised, they didn't speak conlang, or any language either of us had ever heard before, and so we never got a name for their species. But all you really need to know is that they were each about a foot tall, about a foot wide, and most of their body seemed to be comprised of a dick head. Yes, that's right. Just imagine like the head of a penis, but about the size of a sofa pillow, with a pair of big feet sticking out from beneath the hood. And of course, they also had faces. That was the most disturbing part. They had little mouths and big expressive eyes, all centered on their smooth dickhead bodies. And just so we're clear, because I'm sure you're wondering, yes, there was a pee hole on top. I don't know how that worked, and I don't know how else to put this. They were stubby little penis people. That's just what they were. We had stumbled upon a tiny penis village full of tiny penis people. These things happen. "Hi," I said, while waving and trying to hide my disgust. "My name is Ballsfart, and this is shit mouth." The penis people said nothing, but remained terrified and pressed against the back wall of what I could only assume was their home. I looked back up at shit mouth. Maybe stop eating their house.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me? Why would they make their houses so delicious if they didn't want me to eat it?
I ignored this nonsense and turned back to the penis people, who I now realised were a family. There was a penis dad and a penis mom and two smaller penis children. "We're probably not going to hurt you," I told them. "We just want to murder the Baron. Do you know anything about him?" The penis family looked around, confused and still terrified. The penis mother then tried to whisper something in stubby little penis people speech to the penis father, but he just quickly shushed her. "All right, well, I guess we'll be moving on then." I looked back up at Shitmouth and shrugged before turning to survey the rest of the village. There was no other movement, no little penis army coming to stop the giant invaders. It was just like a penis ghost town. I guess everyone must have been hiding in their little penis houses, or praying silently in their little penis church to their little penis god. Who could know? And who could care? But it was amid this eerie silence that a most terrible and familiar sound began growing in the distance. Shh, shit! It was the dragon, and it was screaming its awful dragon scream from atop the dick castle. My eyes shot around frantically, but there was nowhere to run. We were just standing there in the wide open. The only thing that could possibly bring cover would be the pubes way up ahead, but I wasn't nearly fast enough to get there before the dragon smote me with his nefarious cock. I turned towards Shitmouth, who was already quaking at the sound of that giant flying hell beast. And though he'd already told me that he wasn't down for it, I nonetheless jumped up onto his leg, grabbed a hold of his bony knee, and began shimmying myself up onto his thigh.
What are you doing?
He asked.
We need to run!
Yeah, and your crazy long legs are a whole lot faster than mine.
But you're too heavy! I'm too lean and gracile to carry you!
Shut your shit hole and pull me up on your shoulders. Shitmouth clearly didn't want this, but he knew that there was no point in arguing. He bent over, reluctantly, allowing me to climb upon his shoulder, and as I reached my perch, his whole body wobbled precariously. He definitely wasn't used to such an arrangement, but given the circumstances, he quickly put aside his bullshit, and together we watched in horror as the dragon soared into view. A long, thick stream of liquid hot dragon came pouring down into the gorge like a roaring volcano, coming right for us. This was an incredibly massive and creamy load, and I cannot imagine how long it must have built up in that dragon's apocalyptic testicles. The nightmare then screamed its infernal scream, and though its stream pulsed out for a beat, it almost immediately returned. Lava come incinerating the road and buildings that comprise the outer rim of our stubby little penis village. Go! I screamed.
Where?
Left! I jerked hard on Shitmouth's weird antler antenna thing, forcing the giant beetle to leap to the side and narrowly dodging a deadly squirt of dong snot. Make for the pubes, I commanded.
But they're too thick!
Don't argue, Shitmouth, just go! The dragon twisted through the air as it arced back around, diving once more in another attempt to cream us. I jerked Shitmouth once again, causing another dodging motion, this time while also thrusting upward with my lance. But the beast was just too high above us. Shitmouth kept running hysterically as the dragon arced back around for a third pass, and behind us I could see the penis people fleeing from their burning homes and tending to their dead. Holy shit. That was fucking hilarious. But there was no time to enjoy it. We were nearly to the wall of pubic bramble.
I can't get through the pubes!
Screamed Shitmouth.
They're too dense!
Oh no, but I need you to run into them as hard as you can.
What?
Do it! Shit mouth slammed into the spongy wall of pubic hairs, wading into it like a patch of impenetrable weeds, the pubes pushing back upon us elastically. We were almost 15 feet into the bush, but the dragon was nearly upon us. Now bounce back! I screamed as the dragon passed over, and it would have surely obliterated us had Shitmouth not sprung backwards off the pubes. I tried once more to swat the dragon's dick with my lance, and though I missed, its cum still burned a long path through the middle of those giant coarse hairs. There, I screamed as Shitmouth wobbled and stumbled. We have a path. Just don't step on the cum. Shitmouth regained his balance and sprinted into the newly cleared lane, which didn't run all the way to the castle, but at least provided us with some sort of strategy. And we were now almost halfway through the tangled mass when the dragon returned. This time it swiped closer than ever before, its long, powerful talons reaching downward to pluck me from Shitmouth's shoulders. But again, I jerked Shitmouth's antenna thing, and again we dodged, though this time I successfully landed a strike with the lance, poking a little hole in that scaly bastard's nuts. The monster let out a terrifying scream, and a glowing trail of lava leaked from its giant ball sack as it twisted and wrenched through the air. This was, of course, very good news for us, as it burned a little more pathway through the pubes. Soon we were nearly there, but unfortunately the dragon was still not ready to give up. Come on, I commanded. We have to sprint.
I can't make it.
Huffed Shitmouth.
We'll never find a door.
We don't need a door. I can go through a window.
But then what about me?
I didn't have much time to think about this. We were almost to the wall, and the dragon was coming back fast. The dragon won't hit the castle.
It's a drake.
Whatever. You can throw me into the window. It'll dodge the castle, and then you can book it.
That's a stupid plan.
It's our only plan. I'm crawling down onto your arms. Get ready. When we reach the end, swing me in a circle and then launch me with everything you got. But please, don't fucking miss. Shitmouth continued leaping in long strides, and with each crashing step I braced harder, crawling like a fat little monkey down onto the elbows of his right arms. Yes, he was right about one thing. It was a truly awful plan. Shitmouth would have to time his toss perfectly. He would have to spin at just the right moment and launch me through the air at exactly the perfect angle. And when the moment finally came, he did not do any of those things. No, instead, Shitmouth chucked me right at the fucking dragon. Now, had I had a second more to think, I would have held the lance out before me, turning my whole body into an unstoppable flying missile. right? That would have been fucking cool. But no, that's not at all what happened. Instead, I smacked right into the side of the dragon, who was honestly just as surprised to see this happening as I was. I then immediately flipped right over the top, essentially soaring through the air to my death, had I not reached out and grabbed onto its wing with my crudely armored goblin glove, sliding along for a bit but ultimately taking hold. This was no relief, though, because having all of my weight on one of the dragon's wings now greatly compromised its ability to fly, and the dragon responded to this about as well as you'd probably expect. It flailed its body wildly and barrel rolled through the air as my fat ass hung on for dear life, swinging my lance around while screaming like a madman and narrowly dodging the deadly stream of white-hot dragon cum that spiraled all around me. Needless to say, I'm sure we were quite a sight, though I don't think Shitmouth ever got to appreciate it, as the last I saw of him, he was bouncing and sprinting back out of the pubes at full speed. No, I can't say that I blame him for that. I just wish he were a better shot. Before I could even figure out what was going on, the dragon whipped its wing hard, snapping it up from my grasp and leaving me airborne for a split second. There was no decision that I could make in this moment. There was literally no time for thought. There was only an instantaneous attempt to save my life. And so, without letting go of the lance, I suddenly found my arms clutched around the dragon's murderous wiener, bear hugging it with everything I had. This, of course, only forced the dragon to scream harder and then jerk back and forth as it tried to shake me off its schlong. Not wishing to fall to my death, I then pulled my legs up and clenched them around the shaft, and as I did so, I could feel the immense heat billowing from within, while just above my head streamed a massive torrent of liquid hot monster jizz. The frenzied dragon continued its thrashing, struggling to shake me from its dingus, but I only held on tighter to the foreskin, my whole body sliding up and down the boner, resulting in only larger and more horrible raging dragon loads. I looked up ahead, and though I was upside down and partially blinded by lava sperm, I could still see that we were approaching the penis castle. I then looked back down at my feet, where there continued squirting that thin stream of lava from where I had punctured the dragon's balls. Acting quickly, I unhooked one of my legs and kicked the dragon's sack as hard as I could, being careful to avoid the lesser stream and causing the dragon to shriek from both pain and from ecstasy. I then kicked the dragon's nuts once more and could tell that the trauma was forcing it to lose altitude. Perfect. One more solid kick, and we were now flying so low that we could only barely clear the top of the castle. Ahead were the windows. This was my chance. I unhooked both legs and double-kicked the dragon right in its stupid ball sack, releasing my arms simultaneously and hurling myself into the air. Again, I was upside down, so it was a little tricky to gauge, but given my current inertia, I was zooming with enough speed to carry me generally towards the nearest window. I then lifted the lance above my head, doing that body missile thing that I talked about earlier, seeing as I would need this lean shape in order to fit through the opening, but I had forgotten to consider one crucial detail. My magic lance had spiraling grooves of teeth running down its sides, which produced the somewhat unfortunate effect of making it spiral when thrown. Within half a second, I was spinning wildly toward the wall of the castle, unconsciously vomiting a spiral stream of vomit and struggling to focus on my approaching target. I then completely missed the window, and instead my unstoppable lance stabbed right through a big, fleshy dick wall. As a result, both I and my lance busted through several layers of dick and foreskin in an explosion of blood, vomit, and gore, my body slapping hysterically upon the floor and sliding through the room. For about a minute I just laid there, dazed and quivering and covered in blood, shaken by the sheer insanity that I had just witnessed. Part of me also couldn't believe that my plan had technically worked. Holy shit. Not bad. Outside the window, I could hear the sound of the dragon moving further and further away. I lifted my head and looked around at my surroundings, and though I shouldn't have been surprised by what I saw, I somehow was. Everything was made of dicks. And I mean everything. The floor and ceiling were each comprised of tightly stretched foreskins over what I would have to assume were a sturdy collection of wiener beams. The walls mostly looked like walls, but they were covered in thin blue veins, and in the corners peeked out big, stubby dick heads. The furniture was nothing but meticulously sized and carefully arranged ball sacks. Even the moulding around the door was made from long, narrow dung shafts. And this was all just the beginning. There's no reason to even go into the intricate details and design work, all made from tallywhackers, nor to discuss the paintings that hung in frames made of long, bending fuck sticks. Paintings of penises, of course, obviously. No, there were simply too many dicks to describe. But even more bizarre than their impossible assortment was the fact that they all appeared to be warm, subtly pulsing, and very much alive. I didn't want to grab the doorknob with my hand for obvious reasons. Instead, I just kind of turned it between the back of my elbow and my hip, which produced a little click inside,
And though I never got down on my knees for a closer inspection, there is no doubt in my mind that this sound was created by an interlocking array of microscopic pins. I exited the room and entered into a long hallway. And yes, of course, this hallway too was 100% trousers snakes. Quietly, I then snuck down the corridor, leaving behind me a fresh trail of bloody footprints, and as I went along, I listened for the sound of anyone that might be occupying this fucked up living penis castle. But alas, I heard no such sound, and as I reached the far end of the hallway, I found only another door. This door granted entry to a great dining hall, whose long tables were each made from enormous flattened puds. And as I continued exploring the castle, a sinking feeling began to hit my stomach. Oh, shit. There was no gold in here, was there? No silver, no jewels, no tradable values of any kind, aside from an endless collection of dick paintings. Could I even sell those? The canvas was definitely made from living foreskin. Who would want that? No one that I want to do business with. Damn it. Fuck. This was bad. I had come all this way. And sure, I did it for the beads and for revenge and for my girlfriend, but really, I was mostly banking on there being some fucking money here. Yeah, I really needed this adventure to put a dent in my crippling student loan debt. But no, apparently that was not the case. Apparently, this entire month had just been one tremendously poor allocation of resources. As I mulled over this, I reached the end of the dining hall and encountered another massive salami door. I then opened it, revealing a spiral staircase made entirely from wangs and twisting upwards to incredible heights. I took a deep breath. It was time to find Rape Fist. It was time to finish this. Okay, well, that was another thing that occurred. Thoughts on the new chapter? Well, they definitely went back to the genitalia thing. That was a bit more intense than it was even earlier on. But that's what you can expect from the greatest story that anyone has ever told. Ever. And so, join us next time when I do this, maybe for the last time. I don't know. There might be one or two more in here. It might just be one. I'm not really sure. But either way, it has been a really fun time doing this for you. So I hope you're happy. This has been Quancho the Monkey Boy signing off. Have a good one. All right, bye.